Fortnite Battle Royale is a game that, upon release, looked like any ordinary multiplayer game. Simple loading screen, simple objective, simple everything. But as Fortnite began to rise up the ranks of gaming history, gaining more and more popularity, it was plain to see that this was no simple game. There were little details that ultimately made the game seem so damn good. And it can be summed up in 2 words: original art style. But why was this art style so perfect? If I asked you, what sells you on a movie, most of you would either say the story or the characters or something else. But usually what sells me is how the movie looks and feels. Is it vibrant or is it dull, plain and boring? So basically, in other words, it's the art style. Is it something I am willing to watch for hours on end? And this is the same with Fortnite Battle Royale. Travelling back in time to the original Chapter 1, it was quite easy to see how this art style made so many people fall in love with the game. And even if it's not the biggest factor of the game's popularity, it's certainly something that had an influence on how Fortnite plays. Originally, before the game's launch, Fortnite was going to be a tower defense type of game, where building was a must in fending off hordes of zombies, much like other games such as World War Z or 7 Days to Die. However, with the very first looks of the game's art style, the devs understood that this would ultimately make Fortnite boring and much like the other competitors. And so they shifted to this. With Call of Duty and PUBG embracing dark, gritty tones and realistic visuals, Fortnite's coloured landscapes, cartoonish character models offered a massively different vibe in a Battle Royale game. This art style was refreshing, offering a sense of escapism into a whole different world in which your imagination could run wild. The exaggerated designs allowed for more creative and visually diverse environments, which were pivotal for setting the tone for the game. At the core of Fortnite's success was its ability to blend competition with fun. While it was a battle royale game at heart, the graphics softened the edges of this intensity. The bright sunny skies and the overall atmosphere made for the game to have an almost relaxing feel, even if it was a competition. This made for each game to be almost like a dream. Whether it was having a pickaxe shaped as a unicorn or throwing a boogie bomb making the enemies dance, it called for a sense of fun and excitement amid the chaos. Fortnite was not meant to be a realistic game, where you are thrust onto a battlefield. It was supposed to be fun and exciting, with a sense of a cartoony vibe. This vibe is what ultimately made Fortnite so appealing to a wide array of people. I used to love wandering through Wailing Woods at night with the moon lighting up the map. It's like you could just live there. The abandoned houses, with all their little details inside, made for you to feel like you were actually living inside of Fortnite, in your own little world. This simplicity in the world details created a sense of nostalgia that has never ever been matched within a video game. And as Fortnite has gone off their old art style, I am a huge believer in saying that having this same aesthetic as it used to will help garner love from all the players. Back in its original seasons, the scenery was just amazing. Sitting back and watching a fight go on while under the night sky was something that you could only really dream about in a game. It was such a new genre. No other game had a vibe quite like this. And seeing Fortnite as it is today, you would realize that it has lost this aesthetic, trading it for realistic models and graphics. Which is what makes the game today so different from its previous versions. It has swapped out the original warm vibe that it had for a dull and bland one. It just doesn't make you feel like it used to. It has ultimately lost its identity. This identity that it built up throughout the seasons of Chapter 1. A very fond memory was Christmas time back in Season 7, when the map was covered in snow and some of the trees had Christmas lights on them. This created a sense of warmth that was out of this world. The game was building up this identity as something that you can foster a connection with. Connected to the art style was the game's ambience. When playing the game back in 2017, it was silent. All you could hear was your footsteps. Unlike other games where there's background music and other random noises, Fortnite's silence ultimately made you realize where you actually were. It made for the games to be even more nerve-wracking. You're just alone with your thoughts. Fortnite's original art style was a blank canvas for endless creativity, as seen from the many updates the Fortnite devs put out. The constantly changing vibe from each season helped keep players like myself attached to the game. These updated aesthetics provided a change while still having that cartoony feel to it. It was kind of like in the real world, with the changing of seasons from summer to winter and so on. But with Fortnite redefining graphics in a genre that they basically created, helped amplify its popularity with its art style being immediately recognizable. When I'm in my 50s or 70s, I would still be able to recognize a place on the map. If you happened to show me this, I would immediately be able to tell you that it was Wailing Woods at night. The visuals were instantly identifiable in the crowded multiplayer market, making Fortnite to be widely known in the gaming community. Fortnite's unique art style made for it to be so popular today. Their innovative idea to stray away from realistic visuals and bring it down to a more cartoony vibe was what made playing Fortnite so incredibly worthwhile. And if the developers can backtrack to creating an aesthetic like they did, it would be incredible, because their original art style was basically perfect.